I want to start with a question. And that question is, what do you think about when you think about the earth? Something goes through your mind. And, maybe you or some other people are thinking about the earth as a physical rock covered with organic life that's floating in space. That would be one way of thinking about the earth. Maybe you're thinking that the earth is falling apart. Maybe you're thinking that humanity is going to bring the earth to a cataclysm. I was having coffee this morning, and a man sitting next to me oversaw my slides as I was looking at them and started telling me about the cataclysm that's coming. So convinced that we're heading toward a cataclysm. There are all these different ways of thinking about the earth. But the question I really want you to take into your hearts, is it possible that our relationship with the earth is more of a mystery than we realize? Is it possible that we have not really come to an understanding of our relationship with the earth? And that there's room there to rethink that and to see ourselves in a different way. Could it be that, the evolution of earth and humanity, the real reason for it has not even been hinted at? We've barely lifted our eyes to see. After all, humanity has been on the earth for just a bare fraction of the time that earth has existed. Billions of years in the development of earth, and humanity has been here for 1 million or so. So the answers to these questions could change the way we look at our lives on earth. And we might look back at this time at some point in the future and think that everything that has happened with humanity on the earth up to this point is just a short preface, a preface to humanity's main path of evolution, its true divine purpose on earth. So imagine that we are, and we always will be, the co-creators in the evolution of a greater consciousness that we call the earth. That our true divine purpose is being the guardians and keepers of the earth. And in this case, we see Earth's history as a great wave of evolution in which we play a role. And we play a role, importantly, in co-creating a greater consciousness. And to see ourselves in this role, we have to come to understand, to see ourselves as creator beings, to understand that we have created this world and we've created ourselves. I say we've created this world and we're creator beings. We create almost effortlessly. We don't create third-dimensional matter. What do we create? We create in the world of myth. We create in the world of ideas. We create in the fourth-dimensional world. And part of our creation is not just our societal structures or the way that we're psychically interconnected with one another, but it's also the blockages that we create in our energy bodies, the ways that we limit ourselves. We're creating and creating and creating. And we've maybe at many times convinced ourselves that, in fact, these things that we've created existed there before us and they have power beyond us, but they're our own creations. We are creator beings, and we have created this whole history up to this point. So if we come to fully understand ourselves as creator beings, if we come to understand that we're in fact responsible for everything we've created up to this point, can we then also learn to create by conscious intention, not from our subconscious, not from our fears, but to create consciously and make these decisions that we are engaged in? And I think to find our own mastery, our own spiritual mastery, we must master our powers of creation. And we must master our relationship with the earth. And then our role is to create harmony within the web of all earth consciousness. Divine evolution will be guiding us toward creating a new web of earth consciousness. And maybe sometimes we know through our direct experience the power of the consciousness of some of our star sisters like Sirius and Arcturus and Antares. We know that there's such a great concentration of consciousness in those worlds. The earth could be like them. Could be like them when we reach that point of evolution. So let's not talk about this as something which is for the future. Let's talk about this as something that we do now that is about the future, that builds and creates the future just as we are here now. And we'll do a little short meditation together. And in this meditation, I'd like us to practice 3 things that seem to me essential to understanding ourselves as creator beings. And these are things that you know from spiritual practice. I've just organized them in a maybe different way than before. But one thing you know is the power of focusing attention. You know that where you focus attention, energy follows. So we'll use that power. And we also know that there's a state of grace that we enter when we're giving and receiving love in equal measure, when we're in balance with the world around us in terms of giving and receiving. And we want to be in that point of balance in order to support our creations. And then to dissolve separations and to become one, to become psychically unified with things beyond ourselves. All powers that we possess as human beings, all powers that we can practice and utilize in helping to create this unified consciousness of the earth. So, in this meditation, we're going to focus on 3 centers, and we're going to do that in the 3 centers in relatively similar ways. Going to focus first on what I call the center of awareness, and let's say the center of awareness you can imagine is centered in the pineal gland. So it's the center that's in the center of your head. It'll be the first center. The second center is the heart center. And I'll ask you to focus on the flame of your heart as another center. These are 2 centers, of course, that are anchored in our physical body. Then we're going to repeat the same pattern with those 2 centers, focusing on the center of the earth as another center. Okay? So, an exercise in joining with the earth. So I invite you to center yourself, to close your eyes and go inward. And we're going to ask for a field of earth unity. Ask that you be surrounded by a field of earth unity. You command the energies as creator beings to form around you. You command that there be a field of earth unity placed around you to support this work. And now focus your attention on your pineal gland, and to focus your attention on that center of awareness and the center of your head. And bring all of your attention there. And search around. If there's any other place that you have attention, call it back. Call it back to you and focus everything, all of your attention on the pineal gland. And as you focus attention there, maybe you experience it as a ball of light. And as you hold your attention there and keep your attention there, maybe you see that ball of light begin to expand. The power and the energy in that center grow. So it's time to give it love. Give that ball of light love and allow yourself to receive love. Giving and receiving love. Giving and receiving love. The constant balance. And allow yourself to move closer to that ball of light. To move closer and closer. To enter into that ball of light. And then say to yourself, I am the pineal. Remove all separations. Release all separations. And say, I am the pineal. And experience the world the way the pineal experiences it. Take a step back and take a deep breath. Let's shift our focus to the heart center and find that place in the region of your heart where you can feel the flame of the heart, the burning light within the center of the heart. And give it all of your attention. All of your attention. So there's nothing but you and the flame of the heart. Nothing but you and the flame of the heart. And as you give it your attention, you can feel the flame grow. It becomes brighter and stronger. And give love to that flame and receive love from that flame. Bring yourself into perfect balance, giving and receiving love. Allow yourself to become closer to the flame, closer and closer, and enter the space of the heart flame. Enter it, and you say to yourself, I am the heart flame. I am the heart flame. Dissolving all separations and moving into a state of oneness. See the world as the heart flame experiences it. Know the consciousness of your heart flame. And take a step back and take a deep breath. And visualize, if you would, the center of the earth. Visualize the crystalline energy in the center of the earth, the flame in the center of the earth, the energy of the earth. And put all of your attention there. So there's nothing but you in the center of the earth. And give it your love. Give it your love. And receive its love. Giving and receiving love. In perfect balance. Allow yourself to move closer into that center, Allow yourself to merge into that center, to join with that center, and say to yourself, I am the earth. I am the earth. Know the consciousness of the earth. Remove all separations. So take a step back. Take a deep breath. But hold on to your connection to the earth. Hold on to your exchange of love with the earth. And come back to this room. Come back to your bodies. As part of the matrix of earth consciousness. Join fully into the matrix of earth consciousness. Okay, let's open your eyes. A question you might well ask, is how can we know about the path of evolution for humanity and a new earth consciousness? Well, for my wife Ulla and I, the story unfolded in the wilderness areas of Salta, Argentina. It's an area in South America that has not seen human population. It's a place with, unusual, very unusual geographic features. A place with no human history. And what happened to us going there was a discovery of a different kind of energy than we experienced before. Because there was no human psychic debris. There was no human civilization. There was no human religion. There was only the energies of nature. And it seems that something about the strange geography, the unusual earth forms there, seems to have made this an area that's a beautiful receptacle for earth spirits and deep earth consciousness. And a lot of this consciousness had to do with the times before humans came to the earth. So in this region, this one particular region called Quebrada de las Conchas, the ancient beings of the earth came to us to tell us about their history, but not just about their history, to tell us something that was important for the future and the evolution of humanity. It's an interesting area. It's, among other things, completely saturated with crystals. So there's this huge area where there's crystals just lying on the ground everywhere, undoubtedly having some effect, on what it's like to be in this place. So when Ulla and I arrived there and we sat and these messages started coming in, we met beings, ancient beings, who said that they were the creators of the sun and the solar system. They were themselves creator beings like human beings are. But they had a different scope to their work. And they told us about their work forming the sun, forming the solar system. We met beings who said they were the master designers of the earth, took us to their workplace, showed us how they thought about the creation of the earth. And then we also encountered star people who had a role in the early history of the earth, especially the Syrians, who were there eager to tell us about their involvement with the early earth. All of this consciousness involved in the formation of the physical world that we are familiar with. but consciousness operating in other dimensional levels than the ones that we usually pay attention to. And maybe most interestingly, we encountered the giants, these very, very tall, high-dimensional beings who had come to the earth in the early stages of the development of life, and they saw themselves as sort of specialists in developing life. They saw themselves, I would say, as kind of like the daycare workers of bringing life, into a planet and helping young life to develop. And their mission, their role was to move across the earth, sort of giving psychic guidance to what was evolving on the earth. And of course, their work was guided by the fact that there's a certain design for what kind of life should be on Earth and how Earth's life should be different from other planets. So they have this guidance. And part of what they did was that they held together the psychic matrix of the Earth. We take it for granted, but their job was to hold the matrix of everything that's in the consciousness of the Earth, to hold it, and then to interact with it and help develop it. So they told us that humans were meant to take over from them, and that there was a first wave of high-dimensional humans who arrived and began adapting to life on Earth. They were not in physical bodies. They were higher dimensional human beings, and they were the first wave of beings who were there to take over the role that the giants had been fulfilling, to be the guardians and keepers of the earth. And then at another point, a second wave of human beings came in and were being anchored into physical bodies. And then that process became, shall we say, complicated. The souls that were coming in were from many, many diverse origins. So it was clear that it was going to take some time before humanity was ready to step into this role. So many beings, including many of the giants, have stayed on the earth to help hold the psychic matrix of the earth, to help hold the unity of earth consciousness. They've stayed and they've waited. They wait for humanity. We were designed to be the ultimate caretakers of the earth, and it's we who must be holding the psychic matrix of the earth. Gaia, our greater consciousness of the earth, calls on us to fulfill our destiny as creator beings. Gaia has been waiting for us to fully join the consciousness of the earth and to begin the process of co-creating a new world. And it's time for us to reawaken to our original purpose as creator beings. We are meant to explore, to expand, and to evolve something here and new in the universe. We are here to give uniqueness to the earth. And we are, of course, the joining of cosmos and earth. And we are like projections of the divine creator himself, doing the work of divine creator in the creation that we engage in. Part of the evolution for all that is. And how will we find the wisdom to find our way? To evolve, to fulfill our highest purpose. We can be so disconnected from the earth, disconnected from the consciousness of other beings on the earth. It's so easy for us to be separated. And of course, I believe that the starting point for our wisdom, the foundation, has always been here before us. You don't need to look to the stars for the answers. For humanity, there can be no wisdom that's not first grounded in the earth. Wisdom of the earth. And such wisdom, I think, arises easily when we're joining our consciousness with the consciousness of the earth as we did in our short meditation. Becoming one with the earth's web of consciousness, giving and receiving love, is central to our relationship with the earth. And I think these are the natural gifts, the core joy of being a fully engaged human being, to fulfill our mission as the guardians and keepers of the earth. And of course now, as we strive to clear the earth on the physical level, we all know what we've done at the physical level to the earth, all the pollution we've created. We also have to clear the earth on the psychic level, because we've created psychic debris that has filled the earth's planes of consciousness, and especially the fourth dimensional plane, that's filled with the best and the worst of us. We create effortlessly in the world of the fourth dimension. And everything that we've created is there, still present, ready for us to take some action. We must take back the power that we've given away to beings of lesser light. We have created the dark realms that haunt our dreams and lives. We've given the dark the power it uses to affect our lives, to control us. We've created realms of lesser gods, and we've created realms of misguided religion. Our creation, it didn't exist before us. We've created and created and created. All of this is now in the time to be changed. We must begin conscious creation that transforms the earth. We've often behaved as if our creations have controlled us, but as we move forward to higher consciousness, we must begin making decisions that change the world into something new, that change our relationship to the earth. So let's do another short meditation, stepping into the role of consciously creating the new earth, creating the new earth here and now. We start now in this moment. And for this short meditation, we'll first join with earth consciousness, like we sort of did in the first meditation. We'll do a short version of that. And then we're going to directly engage some of the energies of the earth. And in this case, we're going to call in the energy of the crystals, to call in crystalline energy and use that to intend transformation to the earth. How's that sound? Yes. Okay, so let's do this. So if you would center yourselves again. Bring yourself to a place of calm. Close your eyes and go inward. And in preparation, first focus on your pineal. Give it attention. Give it love and receive love. Shift your attention to your heart flame. Give it all of your attention. And be in that place of giving love and receiving love. Perfect balance. And from that place, ask for a field of crystalline energy to be placed around you. A field of crystalline energy. As creator beings, you command the energies of light to form a field around you. A field of crystalline energy. And reach out with your awareness to the consciousness of the crystals of the earth. All the crystals of the earth are connected at a frequency of their own consciousness all across the earth. Connect to them. And maybe ask your higher self to help you bring in that crystalline energy for the purpose of co-creation. We ask for the energy of the crystals to come in. And now, if you place your hands in front of you with the palms facing each other, hands in front of you, palm facing palm, and visualize the earth between your hands. Visualize the earth in its physical form, with its many dimensional levels, with its psychic beauty and its psychic debris. And ask the crystalline energy to run between your hands, to surround and penetrate the image of the earth. Ask the crystalline energy pass between your hands and all through the image of the earth. And let that crystalline energy dissolve density and help bring the psychic body of the earth into a higher alignment. And as you run that energy between your hands, think of the earth that you long for in your heart. Think of the earth that's in your heart, the perfect earth that could be. Humanity's perfect earth. And as your heart fills with the feeling for that earth, let it guide the energies in your hands to give the earth whatever it needs. Give the earth whatever it needs to transform to the image that's in your heart. Let the energy flow. And without losing your connection to that alternative earth, without letting go of that image from your heart, we can thank the energy of the crystals of the earth and give our love to the earth and receive the love of the earth in perfect balance and perfect harmony. So take a step back with your awareness Take a deep breath. Return to the presence of your bodies. As we move forward with the co-creation of the earth, we must remember that this is co-creation with all of the consciousness of the earth. This includes the elemental realms, from the stone people to the keepers of the streams and forests, from the deep elementals to the masters in the city of light. They're all these realms of consciousness as part of the earth. All must be part of the co-creation that we engage in. It's been so easy for humanity to believe that humanity's story is about humanity alone. How could we believe this? How can we be so self-centered? For Ulla and myself, the importance of the elementals came through when we were in part of this region of northwestern Argentina. And we were in a national park at a high altitude that was surrounding us with clouds that we couldn't see anything around us, but we went out for a meditation into this fog that was so thick that we couldn't see where our car was parked. And the elementals came through to talk to us. And part of the message that they gave to us was this. They said, humanity needs to pay attention to us. We will play an important role in the transformation of the earth. We need to be able to work together with you, as well as to be able to work together with the Earth's fundamental energies. The elementals have called upon us and are calling upon us now to learn to work with them so that we become partners in this co-creation. And of course, we are all united in the web of Earth consciousness. There is no separation. Only in our psychic dreams have we created the idea of separation. It's a dream we've had. We've explored the dream of separation, and maybe now it's time to rejoin all the rest of Earth consciousness. And when we do that, when we take on our role as co-creators, what will we co-create? The future Earth is ours to create. This is and always has been humanity's destiny to fulfill, to co-create the future Earth. And wisdom comes with knowledge, especially the knowledge of who we truly are. And we are a creator race at the moment of recognizing who we are. And now is the time to turn our creativity toward co-creating the future Earth. Okay? Thank you.